we'll hop on into it. Okay, quickly go over my introduction. I'm the business development manager for Colette. I cover from just above Tampa down to Naples, so all of basically west and a little bit of central Florida. Um, but I'll just dive in, briefly cover what Colette does, and then go over the two trips you'll have.
Right.
Um, so all of our tours are designed by experts who call the destination home. They're designed by people who actually live in each place. So, you're getting the big ticket must see items, but you're also getting some cool, unique cultural experiences, some unique stuff. We have the hometown pickup, the industry leading travel protection plan, which I'll kind of go over at the end in more detail. Um, but we do have the premium experience, all the in-destination transportation's handled, the hotel to hotel baggage. You have a tour manager with you the whole time. So they're perfect for getting the background and history while you're on tour. And then also in your free time, they're a great resource to recommend any cool places to go, like a cafe or a museum or restaurant or anything like that while you're actually on tour. Um, we try to include different cultural and culinary experiences on each of our tours. So you'll get to see that in both of these. And I'll dive right into the European Christmas markets. So this is 9 days, 11 included meals. It's going December 1st through the 9th of this year. Um, You'll start by flying into Prague, have a couple days there, including a day trip over to Dresden, Germany. Then you'll head down to Sheshki Krumlov on your way to Vienna. Take a train over to Bratislava and then over to Budapest for your final 2 nights. This trip is in December, so the average temperature is around 32 to 41 degrees Fahrenheit, and that's a high. So definitely bring some coats to bundle up, but it'll be perfect to get into that Christmas feel. This is a classic style tour, so maximum 44 people. The average size we see on these is 37, so it could be more, it could be less than that 37 number. And then this is activity level 3. So these particular countries and cities have a lot of cobblestone. There's no ADA over there, so there's a lot of places that don't have like handrails on the stairs and stuff like that. So just something to be aware of before you go on this trip, and we want to make sure it's enjoyable for everyone that goes. So set the expectations that it will be a little bit of walking, a little bit of uneven ground over there. After an overnight flight, you'll arrive in Prague, which is known as the city of the 100 spires, and you'll get to see all these cool ancient landmarks, medieval architecture. The first evening, you'll just be joining your fellow travelers at a welcome dinner at a local restaurant. And before that, you can spend the day in Prague however you want. You'll have free time, so you can get to explore, get to know the city, maybe visit some Christmas markets early, take a walk, whatever you want to do. It's completely up to you. And then that night you'll have a chance to go to some of the Christmas markets, which is kind of the name of this tour. You'll be seeing a lot of Christmas markets, so make sure to bring extra space in your suitcase to bring back gifts and trinkets and ornaments and everything. There's going to be some really cool stuff over there. Um, You'll get to explore the Castle district, including the Gothic St. Vitus Cathedral, and the Prague Castle. The architecture over there is really something to behold. It's unlike anything we have over here in the States, and it's really, really cool, especially that time of the year if it's snow covered. It's like straight out of a storybook or out of like a fairy tale or something. Let's see, we got one more coming in. You can also marvel at the Charles Bridge. It's kind of really picturesque, good view of the whole city. You can see there on pretty sunset days, the water's reflecting the sunset. Just a really cool sight overall. Um, and then the remainder of your afternoon and day two will be free time for you. So you'll take in the best Prague has to offer. You can ask your tour guide that's with you if there's some good suggestions he or she has, and really get to explore on your own. And there's also the famous Christmas market in Prague's Old Town Square. There's like brightly decorated wooden huts, and they're filled with the work of local artists. Has traditional food and drink. It's prepared right in front of you, it's one of the coolest looking Christmas markets with the big cathedral in the backdrop there. So something really cool and something you'll be taking a lot of pictures of. On the morning of day four, you'll travel over to Dresden, Germany, and you'll meet a local guide there for a walking tour of the city. Get to know the different architecture there, the history, everything like that. You'll see stuff like the Cathedral of Our Lady, the Royal Palace, some really cool sights there. And then you will visit the world's oldest Christmas market, which is the Streiselmarkt. This has been a Christmas market that's been operating since 1434. So very, very old, very tradition. You'll take time to explore the stalls, see the different ornaments, local sweets, and then you'll have time that day for lunch on your own. And again, you can ask your tour manager some good lunch suggestions. And then that night you'll have free, and the next day you will be heading on your way to Vienna, Austria. En route, you make a stop at Český Krumlov, which is this kind of picturesque little town tucked away in some of the mountains and hills. But it has some really cool architecture and has a really quaint feel about it. But you'll be stopping here on your way to Vienna. And while you're in Český Krumlov, you'll stop at the Mark Felderhof restaurant, which has been a favorite of the town since the 1800s. You'll get some really rich local Viennese food. You'll get to experience that, and this is kind of a famous dinner spot. A lot of famous people have eaten there, a lot of royalty. And you can see when you walk in there, there's pictures of a lot of the people who have been there on the walls. So it's like you're stepping back in history and getting to eat where the high class, celebrities or royalty have eaten. And then you'll arrive in Vienna, which is the capital of Austria. It'll be aglow with all the holiday lights, and you can join your tour manager that night for an evening stroll. On this tour, your tour manager takes an evening stroll every night, so that's completely up to you if you want to join them. If you're tired, you can hit the hay early or go explore on your own, whatever you want to do. On day six, that morning, you'll meet your guide for a scenic bus ride and walking tour of Vienna City. You'll get to see the beautiful architecture, parks, the spires that fill the city. It's really, really cool, and you can kind of see there when I was talking about the activity level, a lot of cobblestone over in that part of Europe, so just something to be aware of. Um, and then you will head to a local owned and operated candy store. It offers like authentic Viennese candy. They've been making it the same way for over 150 years, so that'll be a really cool experience to get to see that and get to try it out. And then that afternoon, you'll have completely on your own to do whatever you want in Vienna. And hopefully, you'll have time that night to visit the Christkindlmarkt, which is maybe the biggest and famous Christmas market in the city. You can see there, it's a bunch of wooden stalls surrounding the Christmas tree with the buildings in the background. I mean, it's really, really picturesque and really, really cool. And then later that night, you can choose an optional to either explore the Christmas market and do all that, or you can go to Schönbrunn Palace, which has a classical music performance. So that's completely up to you. It's optional. So you can choose to do that or choose to skip it and do whatever you want. The next day, you'll hop on a train to Bratislava, which is the former imperial capital of the Habsburg Empire. You'll enjoy some free time to have lunch on your own, and you can kind of delve into some of the city's 4,000-year-old history, and Again, name of the game on this tour, you don't want to miss some of the Christmas markets there. Um, I want to re-emphasize, pack extra or leave extra space in your suitcase because you're going to be bringing back a lot of souvenirs. Um, then you'll continue through the Hungarian countryside and you'll spend an afternoon on this beautiful kind of rustic local restaurant preserving over 200 years of typical Hungarian culture. And you'll learn how to make traditional strudel, and then you'll enjoy like a community hosted dinner. That's kind of one of the things I was referring to, the cultural experiences. It's something really unique that you can't just do on your own. And that's going to be something you'll write home about. And when you get home, maybe you can make your friends and family some traditional strudel. And then later that night, you'll arrive in Budapest, which is known as the Queen of the Danube. This will be your home for the next 2 nights. You'll get to enjoy the evening on your own, and you can join your tour manager again for an evening walk if you want, or if you want to do your own thing, that's completely up to you. The next morning, you'll get to choose how you want to experience Budapest with an expert local guide. It's your choice. You can do a Budapest city tour or the House of Music Hungary. So on the city tour, you'll embark on a classic like walking tour where you'll visit the highlights like the Fisherman's Bastion. You'll pass the old historic Buddha, stuff like that. So you'll really get to explore the city. With the House of Music, Hungary, you'll get to retrace Budapest's musical history throughout the whole city. And then you'll cap that off by visiting the House of Music in Hungary. That afternoon, you'll have some more free time. So this tour does include a lot of free time. So I'd encourage you to either look up some cool spots beforehand that you know you want to see, or ask your tour manager when you get there, and they'll have some great suggestions for you. There is another little Christmas market here at St. Stephen's Basilica. It's got an ice rink, a big tree. There's also the largest market in Budapest there, Vörösmarty Square. It's brimming with food, craft stalls, local musicians play there. It's going to be a really cool experience, kind of like you're stepping into a more expensive produced Hallmark movie a little bit. Um, and then that night, you'll join your fellow travelers for a farewell dinner, and that'll be your last night overseas. And the next morning, you'll head out. And then, so in total, you'll visit 5 different countries, all filled with like the holiday spirit. You'll get to explore Prague, Budapest, Vienna, Dresden, Germany. Really get to check a lot of those things off the bucket list, and get to see all of these places when they're all dressed up for Christmas with lights everywhere. And hopefully you'll get some snow while you're over there, or not hopefully, since we're from Florida, so maybe a little too cold, but something to definitely have on the bucket list and be able to check off with this trip. You can go to the group webpage by scanning this QR code, or I'm sure they've sent it out to sign up, and that'll have the itinerary and FAQs, what you need to bring, what you'll need over there, all kinds of stuff like that, and it'll also have the pricing and everything. But for this trip, it's 3,999 for double occupancy and 4,699 for single. That's per person. And then our deposit is 698 per person. Deposit due date is on June 2nd. So make sure to get those in before then, because after that date, it's first come, first serve, and the spots can't be promised. The final payment is September 2nd. And you can pay however little or much as you want, as long as you have that final payment in by that September 2nd date. You can pay however you want. The cancel for any reason insurance is $549 for this, and it's truly cancel for any reason. I'd highly encourage you to get this. You can cancel your trip up to 24 hours before departure and get your full money back minus the cost of the insurance. So it's really good peace of mind. If anything happens, we call it the bad haircut insurance because you could get a bad haircut 2 days before and not want to be seen in public and cancel the trip, and we'll give you your full money back, no questions asked. So definitely something to look at. Um, and we'll move on to Iceland's magical Northern Lights. This one is 7 days, 11 included meals. We'll kind of go to the tour at a glance. You'll have an overnight flight, and then you'll spend a day in Reykjavik, and then 3 days in Vik, and then 2 more days in Reykjavik. This is a really well-paced tour. As you can see, you're staying in one location a decent amount of the time. You're not packing and unpacking and moving around a ton. This is a classic style, so average size is around 37. And this is another tour activity level 3. So there's decent amount of walking. It's pretty moderately paced. You're not going on any crazy hikes or anything, but just something to be aware of. The time zone over there is 4 hours ahead of Eastern time. The currency is the krona, so you can either use your credit card, not have to worry about it, or get that exchanged once you get over there. It's a long twilight, so during that time of the year, which it makes it great for seeing the northern lights, but the sun can rise as late as 9 or 10 in the morning, and then, or yeah, rise as early as 9 or 10 in the morning, and then set as late as 3 or 4 p.m. So you don't have too much daylight. So during the daytime hours, we try and take full advantage of it. So you can see all the cool things to see over in Iceland. And definitely pack layers. The the average, sorry, someone else just joined, got him in. The average temperature in Iceland around that time in October is 36 to 45 degrees Fahrenheit. And those are the highs. So definitely bring layers. You will be outside a decent amount at nighttime just to try and catch those northern lights. So bring layers, bring something you'll be comfortable in, so you can get the most out of this trip. And then day two, you'll have an overnight flight, and then you'll touch down in Iceland's capital, Reykjavik. You can dive straight into comfort because it's guaranteed early check-in at your hotel. A lot of those flights from the States to Iceland are kind of red-eye overnight flights, so that's definitely something to be aware of. But we do have early check-in secured for everyone, so you can go straight to the hotel, get your breakfast, and everything, and then our hotel is located right in downtown Reykjavik. Like you can walk out your door and explore the city. There's no driving involved. You're not staying outside the city. So that's something to take into mind. So you'll have a little time to get to know Reykjavik a little bit. And then later that day, you'll kind of time travel through Old Town Reykjavik with a local guide, and you'll go on a walking tour where you'll see like the harbor, historic city hall, the Parliament building, an old age cathedral which was built in 1796. You'll get to know Reykjavik as a city and learn some of the history of it. Um, and then after that afternoon exploring Reykjavik by foot, you'll gather with some of your tour buddies over some local Icelandic cuisine. And then, and that's at one of Reykjavik's kind of hotspot restaurants. And then that night, it's going to be a long day, but you're going to be setting sail in the pitch black waters of the Faxafloy Bay. And it would be a great chance to see the Northern Lights. And if you can catch them when you're on the boat, it's really, really cool because they kind of reflect off the water. It's Northern Lights are a bucket list item for a lot of people, including myself. So this is a really good opportunity to be able to see them. On day three, you'll journey up to Vic and you'll make several stops along the way. You'll stop at a geyser, waterfall, national park, and then you'll cap off the night by searching for the Northern Lights. But you'll begin the day by going along Iceland's iconic Golden Circle. So you'll get to see some really cool scenic landmarks all over that route. You'll stop at Gullfoss Waterfall, which it means golden waterfall in Icelandic. And if you catch it at just the right time where the sun's hitting it, the water actually looks golden. It's pretty cool. It's a sight to see. The geography in Iceland, it's like a nature lover's dream. It's unlike anything anywhere else in the world. They have everything from, lava pools to ice caps. It's really, really unique. Um, and then from the falls, you'll head over to Thingvellir National Park, where you'll get to stand upon the crest of the Mid-Atlantic Range, which means kind of geological sense you're straddling two different continents. The tectonic plates are right there. So that's going to be really cool to be able to say you've been there and get to take a lot of cool pictures and kind of take in all the sights. Um, and then that afternoon, you'll head to the Lava Exhibition Center and you'll kind of dive deep into Iceland's past and present volcanic eruptions. It's very fascinating. Um, and really cool to see and learn about. And then you'll head to Seljalandsfoss, which is a waterfall. But you won't just get to see the waterfall, you actually get to walk behind it. And you get these amazing views from behind there. You can kind of see in that picture. You'll hit it later in the day, so hopefully you'll hit it during the sunset and you can take a picture like that for yourself and just take in the sights. It's really a one of a kind view. Um, that night, you'll be chasing the Northern Lights again. So you'll arrive in Vic, where you can either drive out or go on foot to try and catch the Northern Lights. Sometimes they can play hide and seek and they're elusive and it's never guaranteed, but this gives you the best chance to actually see them. And that's one of the main reasons we go over to Vic from Reykjavik is so it's a little more remote, and a little less light pollution, so you have a better chance of seeing them. Uh, this will be your adventure base while you're staying in Vic. It's the Hotel Dyrhólaey. It's kind of a family-run hotel, and it's been around for quite some time. It has amazing views in all different directions. It kind of supports the family of who's been running it for a long time. In 1993, it was a small little guest house with 6 rooms, and now they've expanded it into kind of a traveler's haven out there. So it's got 7 different wings, a bunch of amenities, bar, gym, laundry services, everything. There's the Deer Holahay restaurant. And this restaurant overlooks the bay, so you can't really beat the view while you're having dinner or lunch. Um, and yeah, it's going to be a really cool place to stay, views in all different directions. The next day on day 4, you'll get to explore Vic a little bit. You'll see the black sand beaches. You'll get to go to the museum, see another waterfall, and also see a really big glacier. So you'll begin your journey at the Reynisfjara beach, where there's that black volcanic sand um, and different basalt formations. So it's really unique to be on a black beach with those rocks that look like they were man-made almost. It looks like they were chiseled out. So definitely something you want to take pictures with and take in those views. You'll get to look out at the natural rock formations at Deer Hole. This is kind of a small little peninsula created by volcanic activity and towers over the ocean. And there's even been some daredevils that have been able to fly planes under that little arch. So it's going to be really, really cool to see and take in. Um, and then you'll dive into Iceland's past with the Skogar Museum. And after that, you'll visit the Skogafoss waterfall. You can kind of see all of them there, but the Skogar Museum is not really like your typical ordinary museum. It's kind of like time traveling. There's turf-built homes and over 18,000 regional artifacts. So you'll get to see how the old-time Icelandic people lived. And then just a stone's throw away from the museum is Skogafoss, which is one of Iceland's biggest and most kind of awe-inspiring waterfalls. Um, and it's just really cool to take in. This is definitely a trip if you love big, grand scenery and get to like learning about the local culture that's there. This is definitely a trip for you. Iceland is one of the most visited places in the entire world right now for a reason. It's because of all the natural geography and all the landmarks that you can't see anywhere else in the world. Um, from there, you'll get to head to the Solheimafjökull Glacier. This is Iceland's fourth largest glacier, and some of these glaciers are thousands of years old. Um, they're not just like chunks of ice. They move actually, and they move at snail's pace. But if you're lucky, you can kind of hear them moving and creaking, and it makes it a really cool experience. And then you'll wrap up the day with dinner, and then it's off for another night searching for the Northern Lights. Kind of the name of the trip here. And just like the other one's the Christmas markets, and that's a highlight. This one's the Northern Lights. And then the next day, rise and shine for breakfast, and you'll travel, get to see a national park, a glacial lagoon. So we'll dive into the national park for first. It's Vatnajökull National Park. It's Iceland's highest mountain and Europe's largest ice cap. So it's known as the Water Glacier, but the name kind of doesn't do it justice. It isn't just like kind of big. The glacier covers 8% of Iceland. It is a huge glacier. It has an average thickness of over 1,300 feet. So as far as grandiose landmarks, this definitely checks that box. And then you're off to Jökulsárlón. So here you'll arrive at Jökulsárlón. It's a glacial lagoon where floating icebergs have been around for thousands of years. And if you're lucky, you'll get to see some seals swimming around. They swim around year round, so you can always catch them. And yeah, at the lagoon, you can search for different kinds of wildlife. Sorry, there we go. Um, and the greenish hue of these icebergs is actually because of compressed ice from ancient snowfalls. When you see like a blue iceberg, it's actually freshly flipped, which exposes the underbelly of the iceberg to the world for the first time. So something to be on the lookout, and you can see when some were flipped and how long they've been upright. After a day of exploring, you'll head back for dinner at the hotel, and then you'll set out once again for the chase for the Northern Lights. We started off with Northern Lights. They're caused by, the sun's particles hitting the magnetosphere. And, the closer you get to the Arctic Circle, the better chance you have at seeing them. So Iceland is prime Northern Light spotting territory. On day six, you'll head from Vik to Reykjavik, but along the way, you'll drive along the south shore to Reykjanes Peninsula. It's kind of known for its rugged landscape with lava fields and hot springs. And then you'll get to go to the crown jewel, what everyone talks about when they go to Iceland, which is the Blue Lagoon. It's kind of nestled in this dramatic lava landscape as the geothermal waters. They're very, very warm. It's really a truly unique experience. And then I just got a little video for you here so you can kind of get some of the sights and sounds that you'll be getting on tour.
Iceland has become somewhat of a trending travel destination, but there's a real reason for that. It is beautiful and majestic. Everywhere you go, you're greeted as a friend. You're going to see things here that you can't see anywhere else in the world. You'll have an opportunity to see the geothermic power of Iceland with the hot water shooting up into the air hundreds of feet high. We head on to Gullfoss, a spectacular double fall waterfall. Most people just do the Golden Circle, but we head out to the south coast and stop at Seljalandsfoss. We go out and explore the Reynisfjara Black Sand Beach. We have a day where we head out to Jökulsárlón Glacier Lagoon. blue ice that breaks off of the Vatnajökull Glacier that ends up on Diamond Beach, where you have these clear as glass pieces that are on the black sand beach. We take a day to go to Skogafoss. We really do focus on going out every night that we can to see the Northern Lights. We end with the ultimate in relaxation when we go to the Blue Lagoon. They leave seeing so much more that they never expected to see. Iceland is really more than a vacation, it's an adventure. It's really, truly something you're not going to see anywhere else in any of your travels, no matter where you go. So make sure that you get to Iceland. It's just the most wonderful place to visit.
Well, that after you get back to Reykjavik, you'll have a little farewell dinner with your fellow travelers, and then you'll head home, and the tour ends. But you'll get have seen the dancing Northern Lights, some amazing landmarks, really cool geological formations. So if you need stuff that you want to take pictures of, or if Iceland's been on your bucket list or the Northern Lights, I think this could be the perfect trip. When you travel with Colette, you're part of the Passport Club, so you can earn 5% of the land costs on this trip to use on your next trip. If you book within the next 24 months, it goes down slightly in your third year, but it allows 36 months to travel with us and still earn some credit. You can also personalize your experience, and this is for either tour. You can upgrade your airfare. There's different optional excursions like the music house and the European Christmas markets, post night and pre night extensions if you want to add a night. So it's really up to you if you want to do any of that. Like I said, we have the no worries travel protection plan. You get a full refund for cancellation at any time, no questions asked. And that rate is set for everyone. It's not based on pre-existing conditions or age or anything like that. Um, this is international travel, so you will need a passport to go on the trip and make sure it's valid for at least 6 to 8 months after you're supposed to get back. Passports can take a while to get, so I recommend getting that earlier rather than later. Again, this is the group webpage for the Iceland trip. I'm sure they sent it out, but that's where you can find all the pertinent information. You can sign up there and all that fun stuff. But this is going from October 16th to the 22nd of this year. So the deposit due date is coming up. April 14th is the last day to get your deposits in and have a guaranteed seat. The final payment is due on July 18th. And the deposit is $698 per person with a $549 for the cancel for any reason insurance. This trip runs at $48.99 for double occupancy rate and $55.99 for single. Um, does anyone have any questions?
I was just curious as far as the amount of people that travel to these countries, or sorry, the amount of local citizens that speak English, or if you constantly need a translator, or I guess do you always
Yeah,
prefer a tour guide?
For Iceland, most of them speak English, and you'll have your tour manager with you the whole time, so they can translate for you if need be. But Iceland's very heavy tourism economy, so a lot of them know English. And then Prague, Vienna, Budapest, it's kind of hit or miss. But again, you have that tour manager with you the whole time, and in those countries, English is pretty much everyone's second language they learn. So you're more likely to find that than not.
Okay. And do you usually recommend doing a currency exchange prior to the event, or I mean, obviously,
Yeah, I would do it prior just so you don't have to worry about it, or just let your credit card company know you're going to be visiting that country, and you can just pay with a credit card, and then you don't have to worry about the exchange.
Cool.
But
Thanks.
always good to have a little cash on you.
Right.
Any other questions? Awesome. Big shout out to the Winter Haven Chamber for doing this doing this trip and having me on and everything. If you have any questions, just reach out. They can get in contact with me and I'd be happy to answer for them.